Hello folks, hopefully your day is going well. We're getting towards the weekend. If you like what I do, the subscribe button is down below. The Patreon button is also down below if you want to support the channel and get me a pint over the weekend. That's the place to go to. It is now time for some patented hobby nightmares. One of my favourite kind of things to do during the week is to sit here, read over your hobby nightmares and see what's been going on in the world of 40k tabletop gaming and beyond. So, let's jump in, shall we? With Lance. Hopefully, it's Lance Armstrong, because he'd be on his bike. Out of here. Salutations to my favourite exiled northern tenant. Thank you very much. Call me Lance. I have done. I have always thought the name Northern Exile came from you living in the north and then being fired/exiled from Games Workshop. Anyway, on to the juicy bits. No, actually, I had nothing to do with Games Workshop. It was... I started the channel essentially heading to the United States. And so I always felt like a bit of an exile. I always felt like I was in exile when I was over there. So, and I'm from the north, so there you go. It became Northern Exile. And yeah, it stuck. Anyway. I had seen one of your videos about how some women love filling every walking minute with activities, and I thought I'd add my predicament to the pile. Here we go. Alright, for those of you who don't know, on Fridays we do Feel Fridays, right? So these hobby nightmares will be more about, feelings and things like that. So they are very funny though, and they do have the hobby in them, I've checked. For some context, I recently took on a new job and received a healthy pay raise. Good lad. Having a bit of disposable income, I decided to get back into Warhammer after a 20-year sabbatical. This decision was highly influenced by the hobby shop that is just a few seconds walk from my door, you lucky bugger. I live with my girlfriend of 7 years, and my girlfriend is great, very supportive and bubbly. When I show her the models I buy or tell her about the hobby, she sees my excitement and encourages me to follow these avenues that bring me such happiness. While she sees the value I place in my little plastic soldiers, the hobby is just not for her. That's fine, man. It's okay. She can't see how memorising a bunch of rules and then slowly moving pieces across the table to try and shoot other chunks of PVC can be fun. But there we go. Have a sip of tea as I'm about to try and twist your tongue. Okay. I just took a sip of tea, so we'll carry on. The big problem is that when she sees me sitting there meticulously assembling and sculpting, she equates it to me doing nothing important. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. She will do her best to get me to stop, demanding my attention, creating a myriad of mundane tasks that pose no urgency until I actually try to open those Warhammer boxes. If suitable tasks cannot be concocted, then I will be bombarded with a slew of semi-standard questions as though I was her Google assistant. There have been days when she has told me she didn't want to do anything, only for me to set up and have her annoyance that we will now be taking a day trip. That we will now be taking a day trip. I cannot go to my workshop or she will blow up my phone with questions when I'm coming back or just to try and chat with me. It may not sound bad. Boo-hoo, your girlfriend wants attention. No, mate, I'm with you. While that in and of itself is not a negative, she only seems to demand it to this extent when I'm trying to assemble the models. Most times I give it freely. I believe that me placing an activity as important then... Sorry, I'm going to read that again. Most times I give it freely. I believe that me placing an activity as more important than her for a few hours is what sets off this behaviour. It is so sad that during the 2 months in which I have picked the hobby back up, I have only managed to assemble one model. See attached picture. It was supposed to be a war boss in Mega Armour, as I found the base model a little lacking in the intimidation factor. Let's have a little look, shall we? I will get into what you've said, don't worry. I'm not about to sit here and just ignore what you've said. I will give you some feedback. But I'm not the kind of guy who's going to sit here and say, oh, get over it. Ooh. It's horrible, dude. It is horrible. Let's have a look at this, shall we? Yeah, he looks cool, man. That looks cool. That guy looks cool. Whoa, what? Orc fans, look at this dude. And you've used the putty correctly too. Well done. Well done, sir. That's brilliant. Absolutely. He looks better than Gazgul. That's great, dude. You got some talent there. Don't let it go to waste. Okay. I hate to imagine how she would act if I ever actually managed to gather together a decent army and try to have a game. I do have a story with an X and Magic the Gathering if you're interested. Yeah, go for it. Now, I'm not a Warhammer machine. I don't come home, plop myself down and whip out the sprues whilst awaiting food and affection from the missus. I cook, clean, run errands, do date nights and fulfill adult and adult-like responsibilities. My time that focuses on the hobby is generally relegated to an hour or so before bed a few nights a week. Okay. I used to find the hobby very relaxing, but a constant meddling just made it frustrating for me. Imagine somebody serving you an ice cream sundae, and before being allowed to touch it, you must watch it melt into a puddle. I have tried explaining to her that Warhammer helps me relax and it requires concentration. While she says she understands, it will not stop a repeat on the next occasion. What makes it more perplexing is that she will only resort to this level of dependency with Warhammer. It has gotten to the point where I now dread trying to craft something, as I'm sure it will only be another lesson in frustration. I just want to box up what I have and stash it somewhere. Maybe I'll try her again in another 20 years. Thank you for all you do, and best of luck in your endeavours. Well, I'm not sure if you want my advice, but I will give it to you. I will give it to you anyway. Mate, you need to be very, very, very strong on this one. I'm going to be honest with you. You've tried nice. Okay? You've tried, it's really important to me. It would really mean a lot to me if you just, let me do it, blah, blah. You tried that now. Let me just have a little sip of tea and I'll continue with this. Yeah, so you've tried nice. You've tried to be there. You've tried to be a good guy and be there for her. At the end of the day, you've got to start saying no. Alright? Use the word no. Can you come and do this? No. Why? Because I told you I was doing models. Right? You've invented this task. I told you I was doing models. Does this task need doing right now? No? Then I'm not doing it. I'm doing my models first. Okay. Her response should be, okay, can you do it afterwards? Yeah. Sure I can. I can do it afterwards, yeah. And then do it. Hold up your end of the bargain. As soon as you're finished with your models, or you finish putting together your squad, go and do it, right? Do what you're going to do. But I told you I'd be here for 2 hours. I told you I'd be doing this for 2 hours. If something important hasn't come up, right, then I'm continuing to do my models. Be very firm. You've got no boundaries, mate. There are no boundaries there. Every time she clicks her fingers, you stop what you're doing. And what you're doing is you're training this person. Right? Men, women, like, train your partners. Honestly, my missus trains me all the time. And because I get good rewards for good behaviour. It works. It works. I get my gaming time, I get my hobby time, I get my other time. And I get all that stuff because I'm a nice guy and I help her out and I do things, right? And it works. I do the same for her. I stop what I'm doing and I go out of my way to help her out because she does nice things for me. It's tit for tat. What you're doing, you have no boundaries, dude. You need to learn the word no. If she says to you, we're not doing anything today, I've got nothing to do, and you go, right, I'm going to do my models, is that alright? And she says yes, because she always says yes. Go and do your models. If she brings up a task that you know can be done at any point over the next day or so, tell her that. Yeah, I'll get to that after I've done this. Yeah. And if she then says, oh no, I'd like you to do it now, say no. No, if it's that desperate to be done, you do it. I told you I was going to be doing my models. I told you how important it was for me to have my time to chill out after work to do my models, right? I told you about that. You either haven't listened to me or you don't care. And I don't know which is worse. Be honest with her. I don't know which is worse. You either haven't listened to me or you don't care. So let me get on with it, please. I will do all the things you want me to do once I've done with these models. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. But I've got a hobby thing that I want to do in my head, get some work done, and it's really frustrating and messes with my, mental health when you don't let me do it. Okay? I'm on your side. I want to help you. I want to do all these things with you. No problem whatsoever. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But I told you, these few hours were my hobby time. If something urgent hasn't come up, and it hasn't, then I'm not stopping. Sorry. Right? You need to learn boundaries. You need to learn how to say no. Alright? And if it carries on, dude, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not sure how serious you are with this girl. Try not to dump anybody because of the hobby. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, if this is how she is with Warhammer, how's she going to be when you have kids? How's she going to be when you have things going on in life that you need to sort out? How's she going to be when you need 5 minutes just to yourself, to work yourself out? This is the kind of woman who you may end up just snapping with. Calling her a see you next Tuesday, and then you're in divorce court losing half your shit, right? Be very careful. This seems like a small thing now, but it could be a lot bigger later on down the line. What I would do right now, introduce options to her. Introduce boundaries. Alright? I'm going to go do models now for the next couple of hours. Are you okay with that? Yes. Okay. Just so you know what that means, if nothing urgent comes up, I'm doing my models, right? I'm having my me time now. And if she says yes, go. Do your models. The minute she comes in with, can you take the bins out, please? Say no. I'll do them after I've done my models. I told you, unless anything urgent comes up, I'm not doing it. We literally just had that discussion. Either you're not listening or you don't care. Alright? This is really important to me, and you're not listening to my needs and what I need as a person. And that's not right. And that's not right. I listen to all of your needs. I put your needs first. Well, now I'm saying no. No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do my models, thank you. Because I need my me time right now. If she doesn't get that, exit strategy, dude. I'm telling you now. If she's just a girlfriend as well, exit strategy. You've been with her for 7 years, you're not married to her. You haven't even engaged her yet. You know in your brain, man. All couples are different, right? All couples are different in timings. But you know in your own brain. If she's your girlfriend and you've not, wifed her up, or at least even started the process, something in your brain's telling you not to. Okay? She either needs to change her attitude or get the fuck out of there, alright? Cool. The Barbarian says, the Barbarian. He says, God, I love saying that word, the Barbarian. Absolutely fantastic. Dear North, you can call me Barbarian. I am a college student. Of course you are, Barbarian. I am a college student currently working on my medical assistant degree. I take care of my mother, who has a genetic disease that didn't show up until she was about 40. This is important later. I was recruited into the hobby in October of last year. I run orcs and demons, and out of all of my hobby friends, I've been told I am the most talented at painting. Well, that's good. That's good. This has even gotten me the opportunity for a spot of commission work. Nothing spectacular, but I did get a Magnus up to a tabletop standard within a week. Photo attached. On to my problem. I had been in a bit of a dry spell. Ooh. Going to be one of the... to be fair, I say it's going to be one of those nightmares. We haven't had a nightmare like this for ages. Ages. You know? Absolutely ages. So, I'm going to try and find your picture. Here. Here we go. Ah, that's a cool looking Magnus, man. Let's whack him on. Yeah, we haven't had a dry spell or any sort of woman nightmare for a long time. I don't know whether they've just gone away or whether people have just gone, you know what, I don't need that anymore, I'm fine. Anyway, here is said Magnus. Looks awesome. Looks awesome. Needs inks, needs depth, but apart from that, absolutely brilliant. Love it. Absolutely. I never get why people put metal on their models and then don't ink them down and then dry brush them to make them stand out and pop. But again, I didn't know until I was told. Do you know what I mean? That you could do that and how to do it. So again, I can't really judge because I was like that for years as well. Still looks awesome now. I'm gonna have to take it off because I can't leave it half on, half off. It is a weird sort of resolution. But anyway, looks brilliant. Let's carry on with your hobby nightmare, shall we? Alright. I'm staring down the barrel of 30 and I still haven't felt the non-platonic affection of a woman yet, regardless of how insignificant. Not that I haven't been trying, given the last 2 women I've tried, still want to be friends, but are either asexual/aromantic, or just aren't looking for a relationship. It's gotten to the point where I've contemplated ending on my 40th birthday if I haven't had any semblance of romantic gestures. Completely irrational and selfish, I know. Well, obviously it's serious for you then. If you've had that ultimatum with yourself that you're gonna self-delete by the time you get to 40 if you don't. I'm gonna be honest with you, mate. Before I go anywhere else with this, stop putting sex on a pedestal. It's not that you're sticking your penis into a vagina. It's not that world breaking of a thing. And once you've done it, you'll be like, oh, well, that was nice, but that's what it was. You know, like, you know, don't put it on a pedestal. The more you put it on a pedestal, the more you're not going to get it. You know, but don't define your entire life by what women think of you. That's like, oh my god, that is like the worst thing you could ever do. Absolutely. The worst thing you can ever do is define your life about what women think of you. Dude, women don't even know what they think about themselves. So why should you care what they think about you? Dude, honestly. Ask any of the female hobby bros. We've got a few in the Discord. They'll tell you, yeah, don't listen to them. Don't listen to women about what they think about you. It will change. Listen, I've had girls not like me in terms of, you know, physical attraction. Then I put on a leather jacket and all of a sudden they fucking like me. That's how strange they are. So why you would base your entire self-worth on what they think is utterly fucking beyond me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, anyway. My friends know this has been going on for a while, and despite me asking for help, i.e. taking me somewhere and having them be my wingman, they only took me out once to no avail. I've known most of my friends for 12 years or more, one of which is busy with hobbies and raising a child. He is probably one of the most supportive of my friends, and is actually the one who got me into the hobby. The others aren't particularly busy. The only one that's actually gone out and done something was a friend from school that I helped study, whom I don't really know that well. She introduced me to a sister that is single. Okay, good. We hung out in an arcade for about 3 hours a couple of days ago. Well, that's a start. Totally unprompted, she thanked me for hanging out, but she's not looking for anything, but she'd still like to be friends. I'm currently in therapy, and they talk me up a lot, and tell me I'm doing nothing wrong, but not much else. But don't give me anything constructive to do, either. Therapists will never give you pick-up advice. It's just not something they're going to do. Yeah. They'll try and butter you up and get you confident, but they're not going to tell you how to get laid. I feel like I'm being left behind, as all of my friends, besides women, have had some semblance of romantic gestures, even if it is a one-night stand. I hate feeling this, and I don't want my ultimatum to come true, but I don't really know what to do. Any advice would be appreciated. Sincerely, the Barbarian. Okay, first things first, dude. Don't you fucking dare. Alright? Don't you fucking dare self-delete because of a fucking woman. Alright? Don't you dare. There are many things in this world that could drive you to such a thing. Not getting your dick sucked ain't one of them. Alright? Because most of them aren't very good at it. Most of them are terrible. Right? You realise quite... When you start getting with women, dude, you realise quite quickly how much of a mirage in the oasis they actually are. You know what I mean? Most of them are annoying and, you know, suck away your free time, your money, your resources, and then you just end up, if you're lucky, you find one like I did, where she's absolutely amazing and fulfills all those things, and you do well for yourself, right? But that took me like 20, 30 years. You know, 20 years to find the one that I was going to spend the rest of my life with. Do you know what I mean? It's not easy. It is not easy. And by the way, women will say the same thing about men. It just is what it is, dude. Like, we see the worst in each other because we see the worst in each other. You know? Men don't really see how shitty other men can be in relationships. You know? Whereas women don't really see how shitty women can be in relationships. We take our own side, right? But I'm telling you now, don't you dare do something so stupid over something so stupid as getting your dick sucked. Because I'm telling you now, most of them aren't very good at it. Just telling you now, right? I'm being honest. You're putting it on a pedestal. You're letting this define your life. The minute you let something like this define your life, the more it's not going to happen. Do you know why? Do you know why these people keep wanting to be friends with you and nothing else? It's because women have a sixth sense where they can sense desperation from 7 rooms away. It's true. They can literally sense your desperation from about 6 rooms away, and it's the biggest turn-off in the world. The biggest thing you can do for yourself to get yourself out of this rut is to stop wanting it so much. Literally. Stop wanting it so much. I know it's difficult, but you need to be comfortable in your own skin and your own life before anybody else is going to find any sort of worth in you whatsoever. If you're 30 and you keep going out as like a pity shag, you know, oh please pity me. Even if you're not putting that energy out there or you don't think you are, you are. Okay? If you go up there with the confidence of somebody who hasn't been laid in 30 years, that's only going to compound itself. It really is. It's only going to get worse. What you need to do is stop wanting it. Get a bit of chutzpah. Get a bit of spring in your step. Get a chip on your shoulder. Say, fuck that, I don't need no woman, I'm fine. Right? I need friends. I need to go out with friends. I need to have a few drinks with friends. And then it'll happen. It'll happen when you least expect it. The minute you forget about it and you stop chasing it, that's when it happens. I'm being honest. That's when it happens. You go out, you have fun with your friends, you have a good time, and then all of a sudden, bang, there she is. You're at home, and you're fumbling with your condom, right? Trying to get it on. That's where you are, because that's all you need. I don't even think you need to get laid. You just need some intimacy. That's all you need, right? I don't even think it's about getting laid at this point. It's just about getting some intimacy from the opposite sex. That you can get a lot easier. A lot easier. Make sure you're wearing appropriate clothes for your body type, okay? And if you don't, you know, feel it, go to one of the women that you're friends with that's put you in the friend zone. Say, listen, would you mind coming shopping with me? Because I need some. I don't want to be single anymore, you know. But I need someone to look after my style. Do you want to come out with me and dress me? Essentially, there's no woman on earth who's going to say no to that. They'd be like, fuck yes, I am there. Get me there. Let's spend some of your money on clothes, right? You know, and don't do it with any ulterior motive. You're not after these women. You just want to get some decent clothes. You go out there, get some decent clothes, put them on, make sure you look nice, right? Make sure you have a shave, and if you've got a beard, you trim it down, you groom yourself, so you look nice, you get a shower, you get yourself smelling nice, and you go out with your friends to have a good time. That's it. And you keep doing that. You get reps in. You get reps in talking to other people on the opposite sex. And stop talking to women with the end goal of having sex. Because they can sense it. They can smell it. The only people who can get away with that are the Henry Cavill types. Are the really good looking dudes. They can get away with that. Everybody else can't. You need to stop talking to women with an end goal of sex. You need to talk to women with the end goal of having a nice conversation. Get your reps in. Practice, practice, practice. And eventually, one of them, you'll probably find one of the first ones you talk to, where if you're being honest with her, about your intentions and you're just having a good time, you'll probably find one of them already likes you. Already likes you. And will accept a drink from you, and you'll have a nice time. You'll swap numbers, and before you know it, you're on a date and you're back at her place, canoodling on the couch, right? That's all you need right now. You don't need anything else. That's what you should do. All right? But before anything else, absolutely anything else, don't you dare do anything to yourself in a negative fashion over women. Don't you dare. Absolutely not, mate. All right? Absolutely not. Be good. All right? And if need anything else, email me, because that's quite serious. If you need anything else, email me. I'm not willing to let this one go, sorry. Because, threatening self-deletion is not something I take lightly. So, if you need anything else, email me. Get on the Discord. Let people know who you are, right? Get on the Discord. Email me. We'll talk. No problem. But, yeah, we'll get you sorted out, alright? Right. Moving on. Let me take a sip of tea here before I do my last one. Right. Adam says, "Hi North, big fan of the channel. Listening to you while I work or paint up some models has become a staple for me. Good lad. Over to the hobby nightmare. Obviously, all names have been changed for privacy reasons. I often play 40k with a handful of old friends. We use our friend John's business during the weekend when it's closed. It's a pretty sweet setup. Nice, man, nice. Anyway, some quick notes about my friend Mark. We've been friends for years, and he is genuinely a great guy. Our wives are friends, our sons are friends, and we ourselves are quite close. He does have one flaw though. When he plays games, occasionally he'll try some kind of 4D chess move. If this move doesn't work out, he becomes really salty. Cut to us playing a 2k game of 40k. I'm playing as my beloved Orcs, with a respectable 18 units on the field. He is playing Space Marines, and he decides to put roughly 2/3 of his army in reserve, in transports. Now, in retrospect, I don't think he was allowed to do that, but it honestly just didn't occur to me at the time. I have a line of 3 mech guns with a big mech and shock attack gun. I quickly realise he is going to try and pop up next to them, so I do the sensible thing and place them 8.9 inches from the corner of the table. This was, of course, to make sure he couldn't deploy his reserve troops behind them, so there is a 9-inch limit on deploying next to enemy troops. As previously stated, I had 18 units on the battlefield, mostly bum rushing to squash what he has out, but plenty of Gretchen holding objectives and flash kits dotted to cover the key areas. It comes to turn 2, and I have a good idea where he is going to deploy his reserves, so I manoeuvre my Death Dread and Killer Cans to surround that zone. It comes to turn 3, and Mark proudly declares, with an expression I can only compare to Palpatine achieving ultimate power, that he is going to deploy right next to my mech guns. No you're not, mate, I say. You have to be 9 inches away from any enemy troops. He huffs a little bit, and then goes to deploy a bit further away, then notices a unit of flash kits are too close. He proceeds to check around the board, rapidly realising there is virtually nowhere he can drop his troops. Now, I hadn't done this on purpose, beyond the placing of the mech guns, but I simply had so many units spread out that I blocked out most of the board. Now, quick side note to say, I am one of those people that laughs nervously at awkward situations. I really can't help it. Anyway, Mark is getting redder and redder in the face and is grumbling angrily under his breath. I start to chuckle, then snort quietly, which is pissing him off even more. I can understand why, to be honest with you, dude. He shouldn't be like getting this angry over a game, but still, I mean, if you actually laugh at somebody, you may be doing nervous laughter, but that's on you. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's not up to them to interpret how you're laughing at them. He starts periodically snapping at me Did you do this on purpose? To which I reply, with barely contained hysterics, no, I swear. Then our friend Simon walks over to see how we are doing. Simon is a permanent ray of sunshine, and comes over with his usually peppy attitude. How's it going here then, guys? He says. Mark grunts like an orc in the latrine, and I simply say, I think Mark is about to shank me. Simon simply pulls an awkward face and does a 180 and walks away. Now things got worse for Mark. It turned out there was somewhere he could deploy. If he deployed nose to nose, on the very edge of the board, he could just about deploy, surrounded by my death dread and killer cans. He does so in stoic silence, and we get through to turn 3. It was then I awkwardly said, so wah. He looks at me, looks at the board, and realises that his whole army is either already engaged, or is about to be engaged, by my entire orc force in full War Berserk mode. Wow, really? He snaps, and I can't help myself, and just burst out into laughter, apologising profusely. The inevitable happened, and his brave Space Marines fought to the last man. He now regularly takes the piss out of himself for this incident, and is a good sport about it, but that's my story about how I almost ended a friendship over accidental unit placement. Kind regards, Adam. It's even worse when it happens, you know, after like, you don't even mean it to happen. Dude. That's happened to me, though. Like, I deep strike a lot. And I have 1 or 2 friends who go out, I deep strike on them once. And none of my deep strikes really work out. You know? Not really. They don't really work out. But they still meticulously measure that 8.9 inches all the way around the board. They try and make sure I can't even deploy my forces. And I'm like, dude, are you fucking serious? You know what I mean? Like, are you fucking serious? You just don't want me to play. You know? None of my deep strikes even work out. I'm deep striking with, like, assault marines and shit. What are you doing? Chill. Alright? The AP dash. Chill. Like, they're not gonna just murder you. It's fine. No. You can't literally deploy anywhere but your own deployment zone now. It's like, dude. Really? Just enemies are fun. Honestly. Just don't do shit like that. Just play the game and have fun. Alright? Just play the game and have fun. Anyway, I love you a long time. I will speak to you on Monday for some more Hobby Nightmares. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Lads, stay with me, alright? Don't be doing anything mental. Don't be going out your way to, you know, lose your shit. And definitely don't self-delete over silly things, alright? We're all here together. We're all here in the fight. You're okay. You with me? You're okay. We'll get you there, alright? Just hold on. Hold in there. Have a good weekend. Have some fun. I'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye now.